here we are back at the bench. I've got my liquid electrical tape ready, and it took me a second to get the lighting sort of right. Hopefully you can see what's going on here, and I'm going to do this. So this is real stinky stuff, and you must keep it closed as much as you possibly can. So my technique is just to lift this brush here and give it a stir, and what I'm going to do is just basically scrape the brush down, all the excess off of the big brush, because the brush serves as a stir stick as well. And I thought about cutting it off, and then I realized I'd have to stir it every time, and I'd be wasting a stick, a popsicle stick. So I've kept the brush on, and that allows me to use it as a stir stick. And I imagine once we get to the bottom of the bottle, it'll be getting much harder from exposure to the air. Anyway, here's the QX65. I'm a little nervous. I don't want to mess it up, but I should first make sure the motors are well seated and sitting properly by pinching gently. Everything seems to be good. I'm not missing any elastic bands. Here goes nothing. So, as I said, I'm going to let's hope you can see that here. Well, do not spill this stuff. I'm scraping it down back into the bottle, and the end result of that scrape, oops, it's hard not to make a mess with this stuff, and the end result of that scrape, you try and keep some on there, is that I've got a bunch on the toothpick. And now this is the part where I gently apply it. If you can see, I shall try to make it easy for you to see. And I'm just putting it on the top of the motor mount and letting it run down, of course. And the toothpick is a wonderful tool for this. It really works well. I'm just trying to get some right into where the wires are, and I'm confident that this is the product that actually makes a built-in landing pad and also seals up those wires, so when the motors move, you don't have that fear of the wires actually pulling out, which is exactly when it happens when the motors move around. I'm going to grab a little bit more liquid electrical tape, scrape this guy down. Try not to get it on my hands. I hate that stuff. And it stinks, so I keep putting the lid back on, of course. And once again, on the top, let it kind of drip down, not too much, of course. And same over here. Try and keep an eye on where the wires are, so you at least get some in there, and kind of seal it up. I think I'll try and give you a view, a whoop with a view. And I'm trying also to make it look half decent, you know. So I'm making a little nipple on the top, as it were. That's so they all look the same. There's the wires again. Just the toothpick really is the wonderful tool that makes it easy to do this and get it on the wires, because you can literally just touch it with the tip there. And if anybody out there is thinking, oh my god, what's he doing, he shouldn't be doing that, please leave a comment and tell me why, because I've done it to one other quad and let it dry, and it's just working just great. So I'm actually quite happy, and I'm convinced that ultimately this will stop these motors from moving. So it looks good to me. Oh, little spot there. Little spot there. And you don't want to mess with it too much. It's like paint. You keep trying and trying and trying, and eventually you'll screw it up, right? But I do want to get the excess liquid electrical off of my thingamabobber, my toothpick, yes. Highly technical term. Yep, I've even got a little bit on the wires. Now to me it looks like that just makes perfect sense and a great way to protect those motors and wires, and especially solve this ridiculous problem of the Eachine QX65 motor pop out upon crash or just flying. I'm going to get that lid back on. So now you can see that I've got it applied, and what I'm going to do now is flip it upside down this way and pin it in the helping hands. And once it's in the helping hands, once it's out of my helping hands, yes, but it says it's hard to see. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, you can see it's in the helping hands, and that, if I get it a little bit level like that, you know, gravity, in this case, not electricity, should play its part. One thing about these frames, I've noticed that they are, you know, really flexible and almost look a little distorted, but it flies great, and that's, you know, that's the bottom line. And I'm going to let this guy dry for maybe 20 minutes, you know, not even, and then give it a flight.